We are live in the Green Studio at KRFC Fort Collins. Very, very excited. Vincent is your host. Jill Kuch. Thanks, Jill.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's great to see all these smiley faces out there.
There's a lot of smiley faces here. I'm guessing there's about 10. Did I have that right? We have 7 members of Forte 201 who are joining us here in the studio. Hello, everybody. From Forte 201.
Hi!
Andy Neff, Clara McGowan, Emma Wallace, Maggie Siddons, Christina Stoll, Brianna Johnson, and Lanowski. Hello, everybody. Did I get all the names?
Yes.
Pretty close. Rose is not here with us tonight. Another member making an octet, you could possibly say. And we're going to be hearing from all of you the latter part of the show, so really great to have you here. And we also, now this is really something we have never done on this show before, which I'm extremely excited about. Alyssa and Hannah are here from Rocky. Hello, you two.
Hi.
Hannah Manning and Alyssa Franklin. And you both play a violin, classic violin. You're doing some duet stuff, so really great to hear that in the studio tonight. And T.j. Frasco is with us, and we're going to actually be talking to T.j. in a moment. T.j., how you doing, buddy?
Good, you?
I'm doing really good, and a big part of it is just continuing to meet all these great talented artists in town and have KRFC to have them on the radio, so pretty fun stuff. We are going to start by talking with T.j. Frasco, and you were here, when was the last time you were here, T.j.?
Like a month ago, maybe?
About a month ago. And it was interesting, we had talked, both of us, doing some work over at Poudre School District Channel 10, and you have some interesting things going on.
Well, the NFHS network that I was telling you about, Play on Sports, it's basically a national high school broadcasting platform. It provides softwares, equipment, and a web portal for local high school broadcasting, and it's available to high schools nationwide. But in our case, in Fort Collins, we do all the city games, and that includes Fossil, Rocky, Poudre, Collins, and schools like that.
That's really good. And you're using equipment. Herb and Matt over at Channel 10 are lending a hand with that.
Yeah, Poudre School District Channel 10 kind of allows us to, without their equipment, we really wouldn't be on air. So it's huge to have them as a part of it, and it's a really good setup for what it is, that's for sure.
So for folks that want to listen to what you're doing, how would they go about doing that?
Our next broadcast is tomorrow, January 7th. Rocky will host Fossil. So there's a girls' basketball game at 5:30, and then the boys take the court at 7. You can watch both broadcasts live on nfhsnetwork.com/events. If you just type in Poudre School District, it'll pop right up, and you can listen to us live on the website, or you can watch it on Channel 10.
So give that website again. It's N and what it stands for.
Yeah, NFHS is basically the National Federation for High School. It's the umbrella for the broadcasting platform. So www.nfhsnetwork.com/events.
So when I first met you, I'm going to backtrack a little bit, but I met you through Johnny Holston, and he's kind of taken a break from the broadcasting because he's one of the best.
He's talented.
He's one of the best runners in the state.
Well, and the funny thing is Johnny invited me to do like some basketball game early on, and at first I thought, boy, I get nervous on the air and all this stuff. I don't know if I want to do that. But I tried it, and it just took off. I loved it from there on, and we had a lot of fun doing all kinds of things, Rockies games, Bronco games, all kinds of things.
My impression, TJ, is that this is just the beginning.
I hope so, yeah.
It's kind of my mantra these days with a lot of things, but there's a lot of potential there. If you think about how fun it is to get involved in the sports in the school district here, and the different rivalries and all the different talented athletes and so forth, that's got to be a thrill to.
Oh, it is. And the great part is, once I was up with the NFHS guys, up in that booth at Rocky the very first time, it was almost surreal. It's not a huge broadcast booth, nothing too fancy, but it was still surreal because, you work towards that moment and that setting for a long time, and it finally became real. It was real cool.
And you have your sights on some pretty fun things with what's going on.
Yeah. In fact, coming up in May, I believe, I'll head down to Denver for the Colorado Media School. It's basically a college that offers a 1-year broadcasting degree, which is a cool opportunity because you can dive right into whatever career you want to, whether it's TV, radio, maybe you want to be behind the camera, whatever. It's a pretty good deal.
So what is the name of that down there in Denver?
It's the Colorado Media School. It was originally the Ohio Center for Broadcasting, but they changed the name, and so That's down in Denver.
So with what you're doing currently, who are some of the people that you're working with?
So Randy McCoy is our color commentator. Dave Hawes is our play-by-play. Lance is pretty much behind the camera, and they all do a fantastic job. And of course, me as the technical producer, it's so fun to work with those guys because, each of them have a unique way about broadcasting, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it seems like being a broadcaster, you can really inflect your own personality and your own vision of what's going on out there.
Absolutely, yeah.
So for people that are wanting to follow what you're doing, what is the best way for them to do that?
I think the best way to follow us, you can check out our website, as I said, nfhsnetwork.com, or you can go to Front Range Sports Radio, and that's the Facebook page for what Johnny and I started a few years ago. That's not as big of a deal as NFHS, but it is local radio, online broadcasting, and things like that. So that's a great way to follow us.
Very nice. T.j. Frasco, I want to thank you for stopping by.
Well, thanks for having me.
And I think we should do like a monthly thing where you come in and give us updates.
Yeah, I like it.
Really nice. Thank you, T.j.
Thank you.
We are here in the Green Studio, KRFC 88.9 FM. Vincent is your host. And we're going to hear some really amazing music with... Yeah, and I'll have you each step up to your vocal mics if you would. And I want to introduce you to Hannah Manning.
Hello.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Alyssa Franklin.
Hey.
Nice to be. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
We have some kind of amazing music. We were talking prior to the show of what exactly you are going to be playing. And I think the most fun thing for me would just be to jump into the first song. I think that's really great. This is Brahms' Waltz Duet. That was beautiful. That was really, really great. Jill?
Wow. I just enjoy hearing that so much. These lovely ladies both played at the Rocky Holiday Stocking. Incredible music that Rocky is putting out, and these ladies did an amazing job there as well.
Thank you so much.
Right, and being that it's now in January, we won't actually be hearing the holiday music that you played there, but that was astonishing. That was really, it was a, kind of describe, Hannah, what folks heard that night.
It was this piece that the husband of our former orchestra teacher arranged for us that combined famous classical themes such as the opening of Beethoven's Fifth, da 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 da, and it combined that with familiar Christmas pieces. And it was a violin duet that we got to perform, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that holiday stocking at Rocky is a big deal. It's a sold out show at the Lincoln Center.
Definitely, it's quite the production. It's a little bit stressful sometimes.
Right, because I imagine there's quite a bit of preparation as far as where people are at a certain time and so forth. Because for people that haven't been there, Alyssa will have you describe kind of the setup a little bit of what the stocking is.
Pretty much what happens is each group from Rocky, chamber orchestras, quartets from band, everyone gets together and plays this one really big show. What happens is that there are no stops, there are no pauses. Everyone has to be where they are. You have to be very diligent about where you're supposed to be, and because a lot of the time when you're entering in while another group is performing, people are looking at you. You gotta be very organized. So that can be a little stressful sometimes, but in the end it always works out really great because people at Rocky are such great people, so that's always great.
Really fun because all of a sudden the spotlight is up to the side and the two of you are there
Right.
in the spotlight in front of a sold-out Lincoln Center.
It's a little nerve-wracking, but we had a blast.
We had lots of fun.
And I imagine, too, because I was watching at times where on the orchestra stage, it's completely dark, and people are, like, carrying all these different types of instruments in the dark.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I
Definitely.
really hope that they don't trip on
Yeah,
something.
we're lucky we have violins and don't have to worry about big cellos and basses or something.
It's a lot easier, lighter too.
We are having a great time here in the studio, and a little bit later in the show, we'll be hearing Forte 201, and their website's forte201.com. Just wanted to throw that out there from Poudre High School. And we are going to hear the next arrangement from Hannah and Alyssa. We are going to hear a Bach tune, which is just astonishing. Really nice. That's terrific.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know TJ's got to head out. I want to thank very much TJ for being on the show. I have to ask, while TJ's heading out, Hannah Manning, you don't have a relative named Peyton by chance?
No, we joke that he's my rich uncle, but unfortunately that's not the case.
Alyssa Franklin, you two are really sounding terrific. Jill?
Yes, I was speaking to Hannah and Alyssa at the beginning, and my ears are used to the elementary level violins, and it's just so great to hear the way that musicians can progress and get to such a high level of performance in really a pretty short time. I mean, these are high school students. It's amazing.
It's interesting. Hannah began when you were about 8. And
Correct.
Alyssa, when you were about 4, is my guess. Yeah.
A lot of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star at the beginning. That's what I'm
We
used
love
to
that
hearing.
song.
Yes.
Well, we're going to be talking more with them, and of course, Forte 201 coming up in a little bit. The only thing I can think better than hearing a Bach song is hearing a second Bach song. This is Beret. Very, very nice. We are here on the Emerging Artist Showcase, KRFC 88.9 FM. Alyssa and Hannah, we need to mention Allison Sherman.
We love her. Hannah's been taking from her from a little bit longer, and I took with her from when I moved to Colorado till about a year ago, and she pretty much taught us a lot of what we know, and we're where we are today because of her, and we have a lot of gratitude towards Allison.
Definitely.
It's got to be really fun for her, Hannah, to watch her, for her to watch you two progress.
Right. Actually, when I was about 5 years old, I was doing Christmas shopping at the Foothills Mall, and Allison's violin studio was doing a performance there. And my 5-year-old self saw them doing that, and I told my parents, that's what I want to do. And I was 5, and so they were kind of like, okay, maybe you can play violin. But 3 years later, I was still bugging them, and so they let me start taking lessons from Allison, and it took off from there, and I fell in love with it.
I love hearing that story because there are times like when we were doing the Ben & Jerry's music on the patio, and more recently at Whole Foods, where very little kids who with their parents will just stop, and they'll see these performers and they'll just watch. And, Jill, I can't help but think there is some seeds being planted that's kind of an additional benefit, not only providing the varied performance opportunities for the artists themselves, but the community that's happening there, Jill.
I would agree. It's amazing to have these kids out, these big kids, grown-up kids, young adults out in the community performing, so the youth, the younger kids can see what can be done and have that inspiration. So that's really a really neat story to say that you were inspired by a performance in our community and were able to carry it through to fruition to where you are now.
We have a couple more songs from Alyssa and Hannah that we're going to hear, both seniors at Rocky High School. This next one by Pachelbel. Good time we're having here in the Green Studio. You've got a little audience here, too, because you've got Forte 201 hanging out, got a friend Mary hanging out here. Everybody's got a front row seat. we'll be hearing Forte 201 shortly. I wanted to bring up Beth Wells. And that's actually how I was introduced to the two of you. Beth Wells with the Northern Colorado Cello Choir, which is just an amazing compilation of awesomeness.
They are amazing.
Yeah, because for those that are not familiar with the Northern Colorado Cello Choir, and they actually have a Facebook page, 8 cellists. And as incredible as the violin is, the cello has, would you say, is it the greatest range of the stringed instruments?
Probably.
Yeah, they're able to play in
Treble,
alto, and bass clef.
Tenor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're just such a beautiful instrument, too.
Right.
Probably my favorite orchestra instrument, honestly.
So they're able to, within that one instrument, do all of the melodies, do everything incorporated in these arrangements that they have. So it's kind of a incredible thing to witness, actually.
Yeah, everyone should definitely check out Beth Wells's cello choir because they are amazing, seriously.
So it's kind of fun. They were doing the rehearsal, and they have a big gig coming up. They're actually doing the CMEA, which I believe Forte 201 did last year. Am I correct in that? Impolyphonics. Okay, cool. Impolyphonics from Poudre High School. Thank you. So they're going to be performing at the CMEA. The other thing we wanted to bring up is, Alyssa, you are going to be majoring in music at UNC starting next year.
Yes, I'm very excited.
That's really exciting. UNC is quite the music program out there. I don't know how many people are really familiar with UNC because it's not like right here in Fort Collins, but they have a very highly respected music department out there.
Yeah, they do. It's great. Right now I'm taking from one of the violin professors there, Margaret Gutierrez. So yeah, just preparing for auditions right now, and Mr. Fuchs is also there. I don't know his first name, but he's there too. And yeah, the violin professors are great there, so I'm pretty excited.
Hopefully you'll run into Mr. Josh Bell.
That
Jill?
would be cool.
That would be cool. Maybe a little piano violin jam or something.
Yeah, Josh is in the jazz program. So you're going to be studying primarily classical? Is that right?
Yes.
You do a mashup of classical jazz stuff. That's the new frontier there, Jill.
That could be fun.
Throw in some a cappella music and you've got everything you need. We have a final song from the two of you, and this is the one composer that I haven't heard of, Mazas?
Correct. And we're going to play, it's actually a 3-movement duet, but we're going to do the Allegro and then the Rondo.
This is the Emerging Artist Showcase on KRFC 88.9 FM. was really astonishing. Thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Hannah Manning and Alyssa Franklin. Sounded great. Jill?
Yeah, it sounded awesome. It's just a great thing to have some classical balance to some other genres that we usually have here. So it's very nice.
Absolutely. And musicians that are classically trained just are very potent musicians and artists. So that's pretty cool. You are listening to the Emerging Artist Showcase. Vincent is your host, Jill Kuch as your tech. And before we get to this wonderful a cappella group, Forte 201 from Poudre High School, whose website is forte201.com, and you have a great CD out, and I played a song from that today during the morning mix, as a matter of fact. I did want to just point out, I wanted to thank all of the fine folks at Scene Magazine and Michael Mokler. This is the 25th year of Scene Magazine providing entertainment information, and very humbled and honored to be one of 10 chosen to kind of write about the upcoming future of the music scene here. So really a great honor and pretty exciting.
Yes, and the cover of Scene Magazine
Yes, that was very creative.
has a very great half shot of you.
I'm sharing a head with Mike Short, who's the head of the DBA, which is kind of astonishing.
It's very cool.
Yeah. So I think DBA now means double brain activity.
Absolutely.
That's that we're talking about. So that's really, I just want to give out that thank you very much to all those folks. We have the honor of having Forte 201 back in the studio. It's been a little bit of time here, and we're going to jump right into our first song. We have Andy Neff, Clara McGowan, Emma Wallace, Maggie Siddons, Christina Stoll, Brianne Johnson, Ann Lanowski, and Rose Van Dyne could not be here this evening, but we're going to start. Great song, Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy.
He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man of his craft. But then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. They made him blow his bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he couldn't jam. The captain seemed to understand, because the next day the cap went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. A toot, a toot, a tootly attitude. He blows an 8 to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. He is some Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. And when he plays Boogie Woogie Bugle, he is busy as a buzzy bee. And when he plays, he makes the company jump an 8 to the bar. He is the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. He can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. He puts the boys to sleep with boogie every night and wakes them up the same way in the early bright. They clap their hands and stamp their feet because they know what he plays. When someone gives him a beat, he really breaks it up when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. A toot, a toot, a tootly attitude. He blows an 8 to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with him. And the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. Ding.
That's so great. Forte 201. Nice job, ladies. There are so many songs to choose from. It sounds very profound. So how do you know what song to work on? Because once you're dedicated and you pick a song, there's a lot more work in it than people may realize. So whoever would like to step up to the... I like this miking that Jill set up, by the way. These 2 mics. This is what they do for like full bluegrass bands and so forth. It works perfect. Sounding great, Jill.
Well, to help us pick songs, there's a lot of different ways we end up picking a song. Some of them are just some of our favorite songs that we like, that we hear on the radio, and other things, we get some recommendations from people. We also have to think about how we're going to arrange it, because most of our songs we arrange on our own, so that's a really important factor. When one of us feels strongly enough about a song to arrange it, then we want to sing that song. So that's kind of how it works.
We also really like to take into consideration our audience. So we try and make sure that we have a really wide range of repertoire. So we cover everything from blues to pop to... actually, I don't think we have country, but we have classical, musical theater. We really try and give everyone something that they can enjoy.
Really well put. And since we're talking about arrangements, there's a gentleman who's, I don't know if he's still collaborating with you, but I know that the first year he was very much a part of when you were really getting rolling with this.
Speaking about John Micah, Braswell, perchance? Yes. We are actually still working with him. He's wonderful.
And say his name again?
John Micah Braswell. He's a really wonderful musician and composer in the community. He's 17 now, I think. Yes. And we're actually doing a recital with him. He's hosting a recital. Does anyone remember?
Sometime
March.
in March.
It's in March. I think it might be the 21st. You can, if you're interested, it is on our website. But we're helping him out with a recital, and we're going to perform one of his songs that he's composed. And we're really excited. He's a really great person to work with.
And one of the first songs that we ever sang as a group was Shenandoah, and he arranged that for us. Or not for us, but he arranged that, and we sang it. And so we're really grateful for that, too.
That's a really great arrangement that he did on that song. Really great. Chatting here with Forte 201. His website is forte201.com. We'll be speaking more with these ladies. We're going to hear the next song, and mentioning the diversity of the songs, we're going back to the late 60s for Crosby, Stills, and Nash. This is Helplessly Hoping on the Emerging Artist Showcase.
Helplessly hoping her harlequin hovers nearby, awaiting a word, gasping at glimpses of gentle true spirit, he runs, wishing he could fly, only to trip at the sound of goodbye. Wordlessly watching, he waits by the window and wonders at the empty place inside. Heartlessly helping himself to her bad dreams, he worries. Did he hear a goodbye? Or even hello? One person, they are two alone, they are three together, they are four each other. Stand by the stairway, you'll see something certain to tell you. Confusion has its cost. Love isn't lying, it's loose in a lady who lingers, saying she is lost and choking on hello. They are one person, they are two alone, they are three together, they are four each other.
I could hear you sing all day. Really beautiful. Really great stuff going on. Before we go on to what the other things we're going to talk about, we were talking about composing, putting songs together. And was it Brienne? Can you tell us a little bit about you? This is really exciting because you are kind of initiating original material with a group. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I wrote a song. I actually wrote this like a year ago, but I really like composing music, so I wrote a song called One Connection, and originally it was just a song that I wrote on my guitar, and then I wanted to arrange some music for Forte, so I arranged it into 3 different parts, and we've been working on it, so it's pretty fun.
So it's a really unique perspective, because tell people how much work goes into something like that. It's got to be really in-depth, I would have to think.
Rose had told me that she wanted me to arrange it for Forte because I told her about the song and I had showed her. It takes quite a while to like put all the harmonies together and make sure they all sound okay, because you have to like think about, because I didn't want it to be dissonant, so I had to make it. I use lots of like in thirds. I use perfect thirds usually for the song, so yeah.
Well, that's impressive. It's a new realm that Forte is going into, so extremely exciting. Hats off to you that you're taking that step. Kind of like a leap, I would say. It's a big deal. Really nice. We're having a great time here at Forte 201 and hanging out here with Jill, who's doing the tech work, and Alyssa and Hannah I want to thank them very much for hanging out in the studio and wonderful music from them. And we're actually going to be recording the two of you out at Poudre School District Channel 10 this Wednesday. And Forte 201's had experience out there, pretty fun time out there with Herb and Matt. We are going to hear a Joni Mitchell song, Raised on Robbery. This is Forte 201.
He was sitting in the lounge at the Empire Hotel. He was drinking for diversion. He was thinking for himself. A little money riding on the maple leaves. Along comes a lady in lacy sleeves. She said, "It's a shame, it's a shame, it's a crying shame. Look at those jokers glued to that dang hockey game. Hey, honey, you got lots of cash. Bring us round a bottle, we'll have some laughs. Gin's what I'm drinking, I was raised on robbery. You know you ain't bad looking, I like the way you drink. Come on with me, honey, and ask me for no bowl like me. Hey, where you going? Don't go yet. Your glass ain't empty and we just met. You mean when you loaded, I was raised on robbery. Gin's what I'm drinking, I was raised on robbery.
Really great job. We're here with Forte 201. Andy, Clara, Emma, Maggie, Christina, Brianne, Anne.
There you go. Perfect.
And I want to say, give a shout out to Rose Van Dyne, who could not be here this evening. You all, as the Impalophonics from Poudre High School, 35 of you, are going, I don't get to say this every day, you go into New York to play Carnegie Hall.
We are.
Yeah. Impalophonics is the big choir at our school that all of the Forte girls are a part of, and there's this great program at Carnegie Hall that takes young choirs like college and high school and allows them to perform on the Carnegie stage, which is like a huge opportunity. So we had to send in an audition tape, and we got picked to have both a solo spot on stage where we're singing 2 songs, I believe, and then we are performing in the festival choir, which is all of the choirs that are attending that weekend. So it's over Valentine's Day weekend that we're going.
That's pretty incredible. Mm-hmm. Carnegie Hall, you could say you played Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
I also want to touch on the whole theater aspect. Many of you are involved in theater, if not all of you. And I think that's... You've had quite the experiences working the theater at Poudre High School.
Yeah, just this past November, we did Beauty and the Beast, and that was really fun. We were all part of that. Now that that's closed, that's the only musical that we get to do for the year. But the HL theater class is putting on Arabian Nights at Poudre. That's our next show, which some of us are part of. And then this spring, we're doing The Importance of Being Earnest. So a little bit of theater goodness to look forward to from Poudre.
Yeah, Vincent. They can't hear me really, but I just can say that I went to see Beauty and the Beast with our daughter Grace, and oh man, it was amazing. She was absolutely in love with all of you, and I could pick out all of you up there on stage, and the casting was amazing. Everybody had such a cool part that really fit their personalities. So what a great program.
Thank you. It was super, super fun.
Great.
And speaking of theater and the arts, we should point out that you have, I don't know if a second CD is upcoming this year, but you have the Forte 201 CD, and I believe the number of songs on that is not coming to me right now, but it's significant. 10 songs. That's right, it's 10 songs. And all of the proceeds from selling those go to the Performing Arts Department at Poudre High School.
Yeah. And we have made over $2,000 from that. So it's been really important to us and really helpful for our theater and instrumental and vocal music programs at Poudre. So it's been a great way for us to give back.
And we actually still have them available, so if anyone's interested in learning more about them, they can visit our website or contact us.
I think the way that a lot of folks have gotten aware of how dynamic and fun and terrific to listen to a cappella music was through the movie Pitch Perfect, which came out, I think, a couple years ago. Is that right?
Yeah.
Really good example of that is what we're going to hear next, because this was the pool scene, I believe, that was happening. If people haven't seen the movie, there was a great scene in the bottom of the pool was empty. Really hard to sing underwater. And this is a kind of a short, really cool scene from that movie that we're going to hear right now from Forte 201.
and I tell her every day.
I was thinking about her,
I know,
thinking
when
about
I
us,
come
what we gonna be,
really
open my eyes,
so,
it was only just a dream.
sad to think she don't see what I see, but every time she asks me, do I look okay?
It's only just a dream.
Say, when I see
so
your
travel
face,
back down that road. When she come back, no one knows. I realize
that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when
so
you
travel
smile,
back down the road. When she come back, no one knows. I realize it was only just a dream.
'cause you're amazing, just the way just a dream. When I see your face.
Having a great time here in the Green Studio. That's a fun song.
It is.
We're here at Forte 201, and we wanted to mention what is happening at Everyday Joe's on Friday, January 17th.
Okay, so going back to what we were talking about earlier, our choir, the larger choir that we're a part of at Poudre High School in Polyphonics, has the honor of singing at Carnegie Hall. And in order to try to fundraise a little bit for that, we're holding a miscast benefit showcase. That's what we're doing, where girls sing guys songs and guys sing girls songs, stuff that we don't normally get the chance to do. January 17th at Everyday Joe's, and it's going to be a really great time if anyone wants to come out to that.
We have a couple more songs from Forte 201, and this next song has really got a lot of great energy to it. We're going to hear Bottom of the River. You're listening to the Emerging Artist Showcase, KRFC 88.9 FM.
Hold my hand, oh baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my hand, oh baby, it's a long way down, a long way down.
If you get sleep or if you get none,
Clock's gonna call in the morning, baby.
check the cupboard for your daddy's gun.
Red sun rises like an early warning.
Lord's gonna come for your firstborn son.
His hair's on fire and his heart is burning.
Go to the river where the water runs.
Wash him deep where the tides are turning.
And if you fall,
And if you fall,
hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. Wolves will chase you by the pale moonlight,
drunk and driven by the devil's hunger.
so drive your son like a railroad spike
Into the water, let him pull him under.
Oh, don't you lift him, let him drown alive.
The Lord speaks like a rolling thunder.
Let that fever make the water rise.
Let the river run.
And I said, hold my hand. Oh, baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my hand. Oh, baby, it's a long way down, a long, long way. Hold my hand. Oh, baby, it's a long way down, a long, long way. Hold my hand. Oh, baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. Hold my hand. Hold my hand.
We have time for a final song. I did want to mention a couple things with Forte 201. Just reiterating that Friday, January 17th, you will be at Everyday Joe's, as you mentioned. And looking ahead a further month, Friday, February 21st, you'll be playing the Downtown Artery. That'll be your first time performing there. And once again, I want to thank Scene Magazine for sponsoring those events happening each Friday at the Downtown Artery. I don't believe this Friday we're taking that off still for the holiday, but starting up with Lexi Shanley, Mary Merritt will be also out there on the 17th. So that's a really fun time out there at the Downtown Artery. Really a hub, major hub happening there for the music scene with all different types of artists using that creative space there. And they've got classes and all sorts of good stuff. So I also, for this show, want to thank T.j. Frasco for coming by with the Front Range Sports Network, working with the gentleman out at Channel 10, and also very much Alyssa and Hannah Manning for being here. And you're going to be filmed on Poudre School District Channel 10 this Wednesday, so upcoming on Comcast Channel 10, that show will be seen. Jill, I want to thank you once again.
You bet. This has been awesome. I always look forward to hearing all these great artists. So
it's really interesting. We're going to hear this final song from Forte, and this was a song that I first heard them perform out at the Ben & Jerry's patio for Cream of the Crop, and what was really pretty astonishing was both John Magny and who's the other gentleman that was performing this from the Three Twins? Was it Steve Almaday? We're making guest appearances. Two of the most highly respected musicians in Colorado were out there not only watching your set, which was really fun to watch that, but also partaking and singing along with you while you were singing this song, which is a Three Twins song. This is Blue Mountain Girl. We're going to hear this from Forte 201. I want to thank them very much for being in the studio. Thank you all for listening. This is Forte 201.
Do 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 do.
Oh, where do you go, my blue mountain lady, leaving your tracks in the snow? There's only false hopes and false hearts awaiting down your wayward road.
Why do you leave the red birds and me singing a lonesome song? Where in the world is my blue, 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 blue mountain girl?
How often she speaks of how it would be if we moved to a warmer clime. How we'd sit on the porch in our old bay shorts, sunshine in all the days.
But up here the frost has come too soon, leaving me and the mountains so blue. Where in the world is my blue, 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 blue mountain girl? I hear the wild coyotes howling. I fear the worst will come to her. And there's no path for me to follow, for she did not wish for me to know.